Oh my God.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
You're done.
I'm done.
Maybe you played it out or something. So
I mean, that was so 2024.
Yeah, exactly. We're moving on.
It's a new year. Got to move on. Yeah. What I will say is I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not surprised to see you. I'm happy to see you.
Because we had this pre-planned. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh my God, like, what are you doing here? Like,
but if we ran into each other on the street, I think that probably would occur.
Then I might say
that would be an
it.
appropriate time.
Then I might say it. What I will say is, here we go. Here's my new intro. You ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to I Hate Music, part of the Distorted Paths podcast network, and brought to you by Earth and Sound.
Wow.
There you go.
Our first
trying
sponsor,
to be pro.
Your own business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trying to be pro about this shit.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Hey, we could throw Winding Stair Records as a sponsor.
Oh, as a sponsor.
Dude,
yeah.
Just fucking.
Why not? I'm gonna add it to the thing right now. Yeah. Winding Stair.
Yeah.
Or I could put like Moonbladder on there, Dolvin, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brought to you by Dolvin. Brought to you by the letter D and the band Moonbladder.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's been a while, man.
It's been a while. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I think it's been almost a month, if not.
Yeah, it was before our shows. Those were the 14th. And so 14th was our show. And so it was before that.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I think this episode is kind of going to be our like 2024 wrap up and best of type of thing. I think we're kind of hoping to do this before the year ended.
Yeah, we were.
But December, a lot of stuff happened in December. I was sick.
Life's hitting hard.
Yep, life's hitting hard. I was sick. Yeah. Most of my family was sick.
Yeah.
We had a couple shows to play. Of course, holidays gets in the way. And then, of course, some of you know that my father died on Christmas Day.
Yeah, so sorry.
And that's, it's been really, really hard. It was unexpected.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but he had a heart attack, open heart surgery. I went out to Montana to see him. I got to spend some time with him, and then he passed away on Christmas Day at I want to say like 2:30, 3 o'clock or something in the afternoon.
I'm really thankful you were able to be there.
Yeah, me too. It was hard. It was really, really hard to be there and to see him like that. But it was a big push for me. It was really hard for me to make the choice to go out there because I knew that I'd be there by myself, no other family, nobody else, just me in this position of basically, watching my father die.
You're a single child, and a lot of times this is the circumstances.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah. So,
and plus during the holidays, dude. I mean,
yeah.
you were talking to me before how you were there and everything was closed and like you couldn't get anything to eat. And Jesus.
Yeah, I had to go to Billings, Montana, which is not where my dad lived. He lived in Bozeman, but he was helicoptered to the cardiologist in Billings, and they did open heart surgery on him. And so I had to go out to Billings by myself, and I had to book the plane ticket and find the lodging and all this. And I got a hotel right next to the hospital. And it was brutal. Christmas morning I woke up and I did a Zoom call with my family, and they opened presents, and I was in this hotel room eating gas station sandwiches. And then I went to go see him after that and spent a couple hours with him, and he went into cardiac arrest again, and he died. So it's been really, really hard for me. I feel like I'm doing okay right now, but I'm pretty fragile.
Yeah.
We were very close.
Yeah.
It's been really, really hard.
Well, not to point out any blessings that come from it, but your movie reviews on Letterboxd were
those are pretty good.
Pretty impressive.
I mean, the Billings Hotel had what was it? Paramount. It was Paramount, something like that. And I just watched these bad and ass movies. Joe Dirt and all this shit. And
Fred Claus.
Yeah. All this just really bad stuff. And
old school.
Old school. Reviewed them on Letterboxd and mentioned. When I review stuff, I like to mention like what I'm doing or the circumstances. And so I'm like, oh yeah, like just said goodbye to my father, and now I'm watching Joe Dirt. Yeah.
I love you for that. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But, we have to, some people deal with grief in a lot of different ways, and I think you and I are similar in that there's some jokes to be found sometimes. And
it's just a way of, it's a coping mechanism. It's gallows humor.
Yes, exactly.
All that shit.
Yeah.
But my dad he was obviously very important to me. We're very close. He's pretty much the biggest reason I got into music. He would, at a very young age, I remember in elementary school, he would wake me up by coming into my room and putting a tape into the cassette player, and he'd like play Ozzy or Blue Oyster Cult or Led Zeppelin or all these bands, and that was like my alarm clock.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, and obviously my family was always very supportive of my music and all the crazy shit that I've been doing my entire life.
They're always behind you, and I always respected that of them, because it's not how a lot of parents are,
Yeah, I mean, I was, in high school, I was like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to move to the city and start a death metal band, and they're like, yeah, you should do that.
Love that.
Yeah. So in a lot of ways, the reason that I'm doing this podcast, that I'm Agalock, anything that I do is due to my father, obviously my parents, but my dad was a booking agent for bands in the 60s and 70s, and he brought bands into Montana like the Eagles and Dionne Warwick and all these people that into Bozeman.
They probably would have passed over Montana if it were for sure like him. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so he did a lot of that. Not God, what's that one guy's name? Not Joe Strummer, not the Clash. The Eagles dude.
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh. Yes.
He's fucking legend,
he worked,
dude.
Yeah, he worked with Joe Walsh.
Oh, amazing.
Like he got me my first bass amp. This Sun 2000S that I have sitting here right next to me is used to be Steve Miller's, and it was also the guy from Men at Work. It's on that famous Men at Work record.
Business as Usual? Cargo. Okay.
Cargo. I think it might be Business as Usual.
That's the yellow and black one?
Yes, that one.
Yeah,
the big famous one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this amp is on that record, and it was his friend's, because his friend was a studio musician and this. So my entire life he was very nurturing with music and
amazing.
Yeah, so he's done
a lot for the community as well. It sounds like he was really involved in supporting local teams
he was
and stuff like that.
Yep, he was a softball coach for girls, for like high school girls. He was the president of what was it called? The Montana Bow Hunters Association. We used to do a lot of hunting back in the day.
Yeah, and you slept on rocks and shit, dude.
Slept on rocks. It's the only way to go.
Hanging out with Jason's, like going camping with this guy. He's like, oh, what do you have a tent for? He's like, why do you have a tent? Or why do you have a sleeping bag? We just sleep on the rock. What?
Yeah, why are you even eating? Don't drink water. What are you doing?
But you did have stories about that. You camping with your dad. It was pretty rough, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because we'd be like horseback riding up into above the tree line in the mountains of Montana. And often you just have a sleeping bag, and you just throw a sleeping bag on the ground and under the stars, and But
was he the one that took you around paleontology and stuff like that too?
No, that was my mom.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I mean he was there too, but my mom was part of the Museum of the Rockies and Jack Horner.
Oh, cool.
And so I was digging dinosaurs at a young age, and so I had a very strange childhood in many ways.
Does it seem more strange as we get older, or is that something you always knew, like even when you were younger?
I mean, I always knew that my childhood was a bit strange, but I think I'm understanding it more and more. The more people I talk to, and the more people are like, "Oh, I did this as a kid, and I did this as a kid," and I'm like, "I know it's not at all."
My experience was very different.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah,
but like. My dad and I are very similar in a lot of ways, but one of the ways that he was very dissimilar from me is he loved helping people. And like that sounds weird for me to say, but it's like he took it to a different level, like Nick, if you were like, "Hey, I need help moving a couch," like, of course I'm going to do that, but he he, at every turn, he gave himself to the community, to kids, he was part of the Lions Club. He was always sacrificing himself to do something. One of the biggest moments that I remember was, must have been in the 80s. There's a place right outside of Bozeman called Highlight Canyon. And there's these amazing waterfalls up there. And there's this one waterfall called Palisade Falls. And he and a team of people from the Lions Club, they spent their entire summer basically making that wheelchair accessible. So people in wheelchairs have this paved path, like literally up the fucking mountain. Jesus. And then like right to the base of this waterfall.
Not easy to build on a grade like that.
No. So whatever year Appetite for Destruction came out, that's when he did it. Because
that's how you remember things.
Yeah, I was on an ATV listening to that on my Walkman, like
87
nonstop.
Then, or 80, 88, the latest, 87,
something like that. Yeah. But my dad, I mean, he literally changed the landscape of Montana for the better, and like getting people help and making it more accessible. And he never had a lot of money. He was always scraping by, but whenever he could, he would buy uniforms for like the softball teams.
Yeah.
Things like that. So
what a guy.
Yeah.
Well, he lived a good life, and he sounds like he gave back to people. And that's kind of why we're here, is to, leave nothing but footprints, or whatever the phrase is, just, don't take away from the world, but give back.
Yeah. So, I'll be okay. I'm struggling a bit now. But I'll be fine.
You're talking about it, and I think that's important. And
we're
all going through things, and this is a pretty major event in somebody's life when their parent passes. So it's cool. It's cool you're talking about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk about it with friends when I can. You and I met up pretty soon after it happened, and that was much appreciated. Met with Casey last week too.
Nice.
But yeah, trying to meet up with some people here and there and talk it out. And, it's I told you this when we met, but it's just been amazing. Like the night that he passed, it was Christmas night. Dylan from Thief and I just stayed up like late into the night talking about grief and loss and how he processes it as a Buddhist. And, just the outpouring of love and support from people has been outstanding.
Well, I feel like when you're open to sharing like you are, then it's going to come back to you. You'll realize that this is something that we all go through, and there's no right way to do it or anything, but there's some tips that people can give to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's been the biggest thing in my life, is just trying to navigate this, manage this, and I've never experienced grief like this. Sometimes I feel okay, sometimes I'm not. So it's been a fucking ride. But I mean, it's only been, a little over 2 weeks since he passed. So still very fresh. But I'm getting through.
Well, through I don't think I ever met him, but through you, I love this man as well. Because he raised you, and he made a really cool person. So I've had a couple of people tell me that, like Adam Stacy. He's like, I didn't know him, but and Tyson too, like kind of the same sentiments. Yeah, and like I guess you didn't ever meet my dad. I may have actually. Did he come down here and maybe at an Agalok gig or?
Oh yeah, he came to see us at our last show at the Star Theater. He was there.
At the Star Theater.
Yeah, right before Serpent came out.
Yeah, maybe met him then actually.
You probably met him then.
But I was thinking before that, even like 2005, 2006. I
mean, he used to visit fairly often, so yeah, you probably met him at some point. It's just hard to remember though.
When I saw his face in the picture, I was like, "Oh, I've met that guy." So I felt like I have, but I just don't remember exactly when.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's been my deal lately.
Yeah, man, that's hard.
Yeah, it is. But let's move on from that. This is a great segue. Our Patreon.
I think anything would be like,
it's a little weird.
Difficult, but we'll just move on.
Yeah. No, Patreon. My dad would appreciate it if you donated to our Patreon. You can sign up for $5, $10, $25 a month. It helps us cover costs. Nick's cassette habit, all that type of shit.
Yeah, look behind me there. It's getting worse.
No, but seriously, it does help with overhead costs, all those type of things. And we don't have any special content with Patreon, but maybe one day we will. But you can sign up for that at patreon.com/IHateMusicPodcast. And of course, we have the Earth and Sound store. You can buy shit from both of us on there. You can buy I Hate Music merch. We've got Moonbladder, Dolvin, fucking Cross Paths, all sorts of stuff on there. Shirts, hoodies, CDs, vinyl, lots of great stuff. Feel free to check that out.
Any new merch on there? You got the Cross Paths EP?
Yep, I got the Cross Paths
CD.
Yep, the CD. Most of those sold out almost immediately because Andy and I autographed them.
Well, there's a marketing idea that
I know.
Have. Just autograph things and they'll sell quicker.
or get the dude from Bolt Thrower to autograph it.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah, nice. I mean that might help. I have like maybe 4 of those left. I might have some new merch coming into the store soon, but I can't say what it is. But
whoa.
Yeah, you know what it is. I sent you a photo.
Yes.
But I can't talk about that quite yet. But other than that, I haven't been doing a lot of merch lately. I think I'm down to the last 10 copies of the Moonbladder Dark Sky Equilibrium.
On cassette?
On cassette, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's great.
Oh, and I'm out of Traveler's Rests.
Okay, I have nothing but the new one now.
Okay, well, I need some for the store.
Yeah, I'll bring you some next time I see you.
Okay, great. And some Rubik's Cubert.
Got plenty of those. I should just be like, weren't you the one that told me you would take things to Goodwill and just kind of put them on the shelf? I should probably just do that.
I did that with a few things, yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah. Okay, so what's up with you aside from...
I haven't had any deaths in my life, thankfully.
That's good.
But, parents are aging, and that's hard to see for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, things have been good. The biggest thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks was probably seeing Nosferatu and then going to see Sarah Silverman live. I don't know.
Oh,
nothing crazy, just enjoying life. And my daughter was here, Maisie was here, and so just hanging out with her and stuff. So
holidays were pretty good.
Yeah, went well. My mom's husband Bill had a birthday on the 31st, so went out to lunch with him. And Jake's Grill, dude, hadn't been there since the 90s.
Oh, dude, that's old school.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh wow, I hadn't been here a long time, but still looks the same and feels the same. So
really,
it was kind of cool. It kind of felt nostalgic a little bit, which is so weird. I don't really think about going there on my own, but. When I was inside there, I was like, oh, it's kind of a glimpse of how restaurants used to be. It's nice.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, that's cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
We did our show. Oh man, that was amazing. December 14th. I got to play with Jason live.
Dude, that was great.
That was incredible.
That was great. It was such a great night.
Yeah.
It was Zach first, then you, then me.
Yep.
Went really well. I feel like everybody played really well. Really good turnout. Really fun. Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
And the Grotto had an event the same night. It was some Christmas light bullshit or something, but it was really crowded around that area.
Oh man, it was impossible to find parking.
Yeah. I was worried about how that would affect the show, but I had one friend. That's just a funny side note, but I had one friend that came. It was actually my wife's friend, and she was struggling so hard to find the place, and which is pretty common, I think.
It's a weird place to find.
Yeah, but she kind of thought she was going to get murdered at some point, and then she walked in and she saw my face and she just totally lit up. So it was kind of funny to, have kind of put people through that experience of going to Azoth. I think that's kind of a cool thing, actually.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that I'm really fucking dark. Does my camera look really dark?
It's red, and now, did you light a candle? Yeah, that's helping. That's kind of cool.
Huh, that's weird. Oh, well. For the audio people, they don't give a shit about that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you went to Jake's and had some cool stuff over the holidays.
Yep. And so, we did the Moonbladder show, which was awesome. And then the week after, I did Traveler's Rest with a couple their synth
Yeah,
bands.
I had to miss that one, but yeah.
Fern Mage and Fogweaver and our friend Haley from Weather Vanes. It was fucking amazing. It's a great turnout. All the proceeds went to the Dougie Center, and we raised $480.
Hell yeah, that's
so
great.
That was cool.
That's really
cool.
And
a lot of new faces from the scene, and so it was good. It was nice to be out there and no fun. The sound guy was really nice, and it worked out pretty well. Good. And they served like mulled wine and shit. Like they were getting into the groove. And I had a Spotify playlist that I played in between bands that had all this loop music and just kind of set the scene for this medieval winter thing that I was trying to do. So I'm looking to do it again next year, I think. So hopefully make it a yearly thing, find a different venue or something, but try it again, you know.
It's kind of like Lawnmower Death's yearly Christmas show.
Yeah, exactly. With Kim Carnes or whatever her name
Kim
is.
Wilde.
Kim Wilde, sorry.
Yeah. Kim Wilde. That's great, man. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that, but I had a work function, and
no problem.
That was important too. So
yeah. And everybody's sick right now too. So
it's just been, it was like my wife was sick, one of my daughters was sick, then I got sick, and my other daughter got sick, and then my wife got sick again, and now like I'm not sick, but I have this lingering cough that I'm trying to get rid of, and it's just.
It's pretty common. It seems like it's something going around. So
it's something going around for sure. Yeah. So please excuse the coughs on the podcast. I am not going to go through and edit that shit. So you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, we're trying to make this low maintenance here.
Exactly, trying to. Yeah.
Biggest metal news was that, I don't know if you heard about this, but Nevermore was coming back. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did hear about that. It's so weird.
Because, anybody who knows Nevermore is like, Worldane is Nevermore, basically, with Jeff Loomis. But, World died a few years ago. And so it's like, how the fuck are they going to do this? This is incredible. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that's weird.
They're like auditioning general public, so I don't know. They'll find somebody, whether he's a Worldane impersonator or something. But either way, it's pretty exciting. I love Nevermore. So
it reminds me of Joey Belladonna with that Journey band doing that. He does it really well, man.
Yeah, no
he does
kidding.
it really well.
I mean, he can. I mean, it's hard to sing Steve Perry, but evidently Joey can.
He can do it, man. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
If Nevermore, does succeed with this, hopefully it's actually, and they start writing music, hopefully it's somebody that like adds a little bit different, because World was so unique, and it would be a shame if they just found an impersonator. So it's gonna be interesting.
Agreed. Well, it's kind of like Alice in Chains, like. When Lane Staley died, like they got someone who sounds a lot like him, but not like totally exactly.
Put a unique spin on it, hopefully.
A little bit, but also like
I didn't really listen to it.
The new records are not great, so whatever.
I don't know what the point is. I mean, I've been thinking about it. Jeff Loomis is now not in. He was playing for Arch Enemy, so maybe he's. I'm not going to accuse him of cash grabbing. The dude writes amazing music, and he deserves to continue with Nevermore if that's what he wants to do.
Right.
But I also feel like maybe he's got not much else going on right now, so not sure. Not sure what the impetus of this is.
Is Arch Enemy not around, or he's not in Arch Enemy?
He left like a couple of years ago or last year or something. Yeah. He was just playing live. I don't know if he even played on their studio stuff, but
I don't.
He's a musician that's looking for work.
Right.
He's just like an amazing guitarist. I mean, there's no money in this business, so he's doing what he has to do. It's what it feels like it's happening with Nevermore. So we'll see.
Well, I'm sure it's a good paycheck too, but hopefully there's more to it than that as well.
Yeah, I mean, he had a Facebook post of some sort saying about, talking about the legacy and wanting to continue it, and World want him to do this and all these things. So
yeah,
I don't know.
How did World die?
Alcoholism, dude.
That sucks.
He could not. The demons just eventually got to him. This dude's a fucking genius. Like his lyrics, if you read these lyrics, they're written in a poetic, smart way, and from sci-fi to his brother dying to whatever he writes about, he does it in a really unique way, and he was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And it felt like the demons just like he could not keep him at bay, and he was just drinking himself to death, and everybody saw it around him. His voice was holding up though. During this time, his voice was still there, like live. He fucking brought it, and he could do it. But yeah, you could see him withering away, and he died. Yeah,
man, brutal.
That must have been 2017 or 2018. It's been a while now. Yeah,
that sounds about right. Man,
rest in peace, Worrell. Jesus, one of my favorites for vocalists.
Yeah, I know you're a big Nevermore fan.
Well, I really appreciate that thrash energy and the grooviness and the technicality. It's a great combination of all those things, and the high-pitched vocals, which I like too. So
yeah, you do.
They do it all.
They do. Yeah, well, that is big news. Should we get into some listener emails before we get into our 2024?
Hell yeah.
Wrap up? Okay, I've got a few here, not too many, just a few.
Okay.
So I've been having this like moral dilemma, which I never ever have about anything really. But my biggest dilemma right now is I've been feeling a little bit weird about sharing the emails on the screen when we're doing listener emails.
Okay.
So people can see them. So I'm going to avoid that unless there's
fine.
something.
A couple times those dudes were sharing their phone numbers and stuff. And that's
I got another phone number from fucking Mark Beavers. It's weird. We should call him
let's text him or call him or something.
Yeah,
while we're on the air.
Well, should we really do that?
What's his point in putting it on there?
Well, I think in one of his emails he said that it was a mistake, or it's like a automatic thing with his.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't really. Maybe Mark, if you write in again, let us know if we can call you at a random time, and then we'll do it.
I mean, it seems like if you're putting your phone number, it's an invite for us to call you.
I mean, it seems like that, but also like who answers unknown callers? It'd be like, oh, what's this 503 number? Like, what's going on? Yeah, and then he has my number, and he's gonna fucking call me all the time. Oh
yeah, we don't want that.
Jesus Christ, Mark! Stop calling me, Mark. Jesus. Okay. So we got a lot of feedback. You might remember a month ago I asked if people care about the segments, if they care about the FMKs, if they care about T-shirt of the day, all that. Yeah. So I got a few responses to that, which I find interesting, and I appreciate the feedback. This is from a guy named AJ. He says, "Hello, Nick and Jason, and happy HSNW to you both. I just wanted to answer Jason's questions at the end of the latest episode. I think the answer ultimately depends on what your goals with the podcast are. And this has to do with the dichotomy of content creation on the internet. Do you want the podcast to be as little effort as possible? Just you and Nick goofing around discussing various topics with a few loyal listeners? Or
is that what you call this? Goofing
I know.
off?
Yeah, dude. This is my life's work. Or do you want to expand and hopefully reach a bigger audience? Because while I do think the conversation flows better without the silly segments, I'm sure that I, alongside many longtime listeners, do enjoy these silly segments. Also, the intro is essential. Okay, and let me be clear. Yeah, sure. I wasn't talking about the intro. Yeah, I had a few people
we'll do that.
Yeah, I would never get rid of the intro. It just doesn't make sense. The intro is essential. I feel like even if you decide to retire the segments, you should at least keep the intro or have the intro change from episode to episode. Awkwardly shoving a segment in the middle of a conversation can feel disruptive of the flow.
Yeah, like you did. We were talking about your dad, and then all of a sudden you're like, let's do this.
Yeah, that's why I said he would appreciate it if you, or no, what do they say? In lieu of flowers, donate to the I Hate Music.
Exactly. Yeah, there you
Patreon.
go.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. You got to work with that sympathy, man. You got to work it.
Oh man, I should. Damn it.
Take advantage of it.
I was convinced I was going to cry on the air because I've been crying every time I talk about him, but I didn't. So maybe I should have. Maybe we could have gotten more
Patreons for that.
Okay. Maybe next time ask me about him and then I'll cry or something.
Okay, good.
Awkwardly shoving a segment in the middle of a conversation can feel disruptive of the flow, but if the conversation naturally leads to a segment and you decide to avoid during the segment, and that can also be just as disruptive. Yeah, agreed. My advice, keep the intro. FMK and T-shirt of the day can come up in conversation, but aren't as enforced, especially if it's a guest. But okay, he's going on. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we get it.
I think that's important. For me, the fuck, marry, kill has to be a little bit pre-planned. So maybe some weeks we could discuss that before, but.
Yeah, I think for some episodes it made sense, like the Prong Primus Warrior Soul thing. It's
That was good.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think sometimes it's just like more work and it's just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Sometimes I just like fucking off the top of my head, I think of something and it's not the best when I do that.
Sometimes, but yeah, every episode, no.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so here's our friend Mark Beavers. He says, currently listening to episode 90. Oh, that reminds me. Nick, do you know what episode we're on now?
Well, that he just said currently listening to 90, so maybe 91?
91, episode 91, yeah.
Wow.
We're almost to 100. Mark Beavers says, I went to the Devastation on the Nation, I Am Morbid tour when it came through Atlanta.
Nice.
I think 6 bands on a tour lineup is too much. Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, the earlier bands end up playing fucking at the most 30 minutes.
Yeah, at the most. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
And then by the time I Am Morbid comes on, everybody's drunk and their feet hurt.
Yeah,
and, yeah. Mark says, I'm about to turn 38, and maybe I'm just getting old, but standing for 6 hours is rough.
You're fucking young, dude.
Yeah,
Jason's 50 this month.
This month, that's right. 50.
He was 12 when you were born, dude.
That's right.
You got nothing on this guy. He still stands.
I still stand. I went to the same show.
But remember at the Hell's Heroes?
Hell's Heroes, yeah. Oh, man.
We were pretty tired.
That was tired. 3 days of standing.
That's 3 days, not 6 hours.
16 hours every day.
But he collapsed on the grass, and some guy felt really sorry for him and came over, gave him his backstage pass.
Dude, that was the best. And we got to watch
Rotting Christ.
Rotting Christ. Yeah.
From the comfort of some benches.
It was so great.
Amazing.
Yeah, he says, I went to see Fulci, or I really went for Fulci and Iwata, so I ended up leaving about halfway through Suffocation's set. Yeah, that's too bad because Suffocation rules, but I get it.
Yeah, they do.
And I Am Morbid, just missed that. It's not great. It was not great. I much prefer a smaller curated lineup of 1 or 2 opening acts, much like Agalloch has done in the past.
Yeah.
I saw Symphony X earlier this year, and they had just Heathen open up for them. Heathen?
Nice.
That'd be cool.
Heathen's fucking great. Their newer shit is thrashy as hell and great production.
I haven't heard it. I should check it out.
Heathen's great. Man.
There's something to be said for getting to see fewer bands get to play longer sets and to have bands that play different types of music rather than metal on the lineup. Hell yes.
Well, Agalloch was very well known for that.
Yes.
Which I always appreciate. It's like exposing people to new music. Most people are going to be there for Agalloch, so this is a good chance to expose them to something that you guys are also into, which is not metal.
Yeah. And it's like I like to have a nice appetizer. Have a couple appetizers, and then maybe like an entree, and then you don't want to have like if Agalloch is the hamburger. You don't want to have
little hamburgers for appetizer.
I don't want sliders for an appetizer.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to get nachos or maybe some Thai food or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he goes on a little bit longer, but he says, a question you posed at the end of the episode, I was totally cool with those segments being left out. I think it's one thing to talk shirts or something if it's organic or a guest has something cool on, but it doesn't need to be forced and part of every episode. The topics and conversations of the episodes hold up on their own. Yeah, thanks, Mark. I agree.
Thanks, Mark. That's awesome.
Okay, so now this guy wrote in with his own FMK.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think this might be a first.
Nice. Thank you. Well, we welcome that. I think that would be kind of fun because then it's new for both of us.
Exactly. And any content that I can get that I don't have to come up with, I welcome. So,
but hey, dude, if we don't do a episode for 6 weeks, we usually have things to talk about. So.
That's true. Yeah. Now this guy's named Jared K. He says, I am a sucker for a good FMK, but it's probably tough to churn them out regularly. It's obvious the best solution to this dilemma is an FMK format. Fuck, marry, kill. 1, do an FMK every episode religiously. 2,
this guy's funny.
Abandon FMK immediately and forever. Or 3, propose an FMK whenever the fuck you want because it's your podcast and your fans are here for the hate.
That's good.
All that aside, I have an important question for you too. What's your take on Metalocalypse? Oh God, here we go. Yes. I've met metalheads that love it and some that dismiss it for mocking the culture.
This is highly dependent on your age. Highly dependent.
I think so. Personally, I'm a big fan, but curious how someone in the industry feels. Happy holidays and praise Krampus. Okay, let's do the FMK part first.
Let's do it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm definitely ready to talk about Metalocalypse.
Oh, me too. My temperature's rising a little bit. Okay, so the 3 options for FMK: do whenever episode.
Yes.
Abandon it completely, or do it whenever the fuck we want.
Okay. I'm gonna. So fucking is something you want to do just once. Fucking would be abandoning.
Yeah.
Marrying would be whenever we want.
Yeah.
what was killing every time? Yeah. Kill every time. I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy FMK, but I appreciate that. He worked it into the email like we would into an episode if we were to do an FMK.
Nice.
He's leading by example. So
dude, this guy's great.
Yeah, he's great. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's talk about Metalocalypse for a second.
Okay, let's talk about the very beginning. When we first heard this was going to come out, all I heard was that Corpse Grinder was going to be involved. And I was like, okay, this might be interesting. Like an Adult Swim, at that time Adult Swim was cutting edge almost. It was like, was it on Adult Swim? I think it was. It was pretty out there. They were doing some fucking crazy shit. Yeah. I can't even remember the things, but Tim and Eric and like weird things. And I thought, okay, they're going to create a cartoon that has Corpse Grinder on it. And I think that that's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean,
but then when it came out, I was just, I don't know. I'm too sensitive, I think, to metal.
Because it's too close to home. It's too close to your heart.
Yeah, they mocked drummers being dumb. They mocked bassists being dumb. They mocked just like metalheads being dumb in general. They just I don't know. I did enjoy some of it though, so I'm not going to say I completely hated it, but it was, it's nothing that lived on with me. Like I didn't follow it very, very much.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic though. I've had a similar conversation with people about something like Portlandia.
Yeah, exactly. We live in Portland, so it's going to hit us differently. Sure.
Yeah, and so I haven't really done a deep dive on my thoughts on Metalocalypse. I have
just
a little
freestyle it, dude. Freestyle it.
Freestyle. I will, but I'm gonna start with Portlandia and kind of like move into that a little bit. I have thought about Portlandia more and more, and I understand it's a comedy. I understand it's a send up of Portland. Yes. I understand that Portland is a deeply flawed place, but I also everywhere is deeply flawed in their own ways. The issue I took with Portlandia is that they were belittling and making fun of things that I feel like should be celebrated, like farm to table eating,
independent bookshops,
and the way it was. In my mind, the way that it was portrayed a lot of the time was like, isn't this ridiculous? Yeah. This place has a mom and pop store where all they sell are like owl statues or something like that. Isn't this ridiculous? There's so many DJs in Portland. Isn't this ridiculous? Because there's this like super like forward thinking artistic culture in Portland. Isn't that ridiculous? Yes, and I take issue with that.
Good call.
People should want farm to table food. People should want to support the arts.
Your town will be better if there were more DJs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly. Like, why are you belittling this? And then I took real issue that it's from people who aren't really from Portland. They're from they're from the Northwest, but they're not from Portland. And then, say what you will. I mean, I know that things change and cities change, but there was a big difference between Portland before Portlandia and after Portlandia.
Yes.
Property prices, tourism.
Something happened because of that. Well, whether it was because of the show or it just happened at that same time, they were kind of feeding on the populism of Portland.
Yeah.
But it was maybe it did help. Maybe some people saw that and were like, oh, that's actually a place I want to live. I want to be like it was in the 90s still. I want to live in a place that has that vibe.
I mean,
maybe.
I can't say that definitively.
Yeah,
but for anybody that was here before and after, you saw the change directly with that. And I do know that a lot of Portlanders do blame that show for a lot of the growing pains we've been having the last couple decades.
Yeah, it's impossible to find that data to know for sure, but it's an interesting coincidence.
Yeah. So going back to Metalocalypse,
yes,
I think I've watched a little bit, so maybe it's not fair.
Yeah,
but it's something that, kind of like what you said, metal is too close to my heart. And I think, is it Jared? Is that the guy's name? Yeah. When he wrote here, he said, I've met metalheads that love it and some that dismiss it for mocking the culture. And he put culture in quotes. Now, and here's where I'm going to freestyle a little bit. I deeply know that there is a metal culture. That should not be put in quotes. There is a culture around metal. And I feel like Metalocalypse, much like Portlandia, it's belittling that, and I understand that these people that are involved are in the metal scene.
There's no doubt that the creator dude, Brendan, I think is his name,
Brendan Smalls,
loves metal and grew up with metal. There's no doubt.
No doubt. So and that's great. You know, if it was somebody that didn't know metal at all, that would be one thing. Yeah. So like I understand it. I don't appreciate that type of humor, and I don't think it's me being precious. I just, number one, I don't,
because we do like some humorous things, you know, guar, drink, MOD, SOD.
Sure.
These things were pivotal to our growing up and stuff. But so we're not immune to like enjoying some comedy in our metal.
I think for me, part of it is metal has been a laughingstock for so many decades. And being a metal fan since the early 80s, I am tired of these cliches of the bass player being stupid, of the drummer being stupid.
It's low-hanging fruit.
It's so lazy. It's so lazy. And it's like, oh, these like big tough guys that sing about death. And it's just like metal is so much more than that. And it's always been so much more than that.
It makes me wonder, though, because people like Corpse Grinder and Scott Ian are involved in these things. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, you know, what their take is on it. Obviously, they have a different view of this. Yeah. They have like any type of work that I can get and, you know, and expose people to my band is a good thing. So maybe that's their take. I don't know.
Maybe. It would be interesting to know, because they know
this Brendan guy personally, and he's a really nice guy, and they want to help him out or whatever, too.
I mean, Gene Hoglan is in the Metalocalypse band.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You know, and they play shows. It bugs me a little bit, too, because the episodes I've watched, it's like they'll say something like death metal, but they're obviously playing thrash metal.
Or black metal sometimes.
Or black metal.
And I'm like, they look black metal, but they're playing death metal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, how is that a disconnect? If you're actual metal fans, like, how do you call a band that wears corpse paint death metal?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm just...
You should know better.
Yeah.
You should know better.
So that's my issue. It's I mean, metal's very important to me, and the culture surrounding metal is very important to me. So
hey, could we get back to where I think the age might be a difference too? Like, let's say you were 12 and you saw this cartoon, and like these guys were exposing you to fucking extreme music. I think we'd be a lot bigger fans. So if you were 12 or 15 in fucking 2004, whenever this shit came out, then yeah, I mean, you're in your 30s now, and you're gonna be into it. That's totally legit, because they probably did expose a lot of people. If people saw that Gene Hoglan was in the band and they went back and saw Dark Angel and shit, or Death, then oh my god, that they did a service then.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, and I agree with that. It's just, you know, it is interesting. It's like, I love humor, but I just feel like you said, it's low-hanging fruit. A lot of it's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it is.
And I just feel like it's lazy, and I feel like it perpetuates stereotypes that I've been upset by for most of my life at this point. It's like, as metal fans, we shouldn't be belittling this culture and this movement that has been belittled by the mainstream its entire existence. Like,
it would almost be more forgiving if the guy wasn't a metalhead and he just like was making this as a comedy. Yeah. But he should know better. He should know better.
That's how I feel. And
that's interesting.
It would be interesting to see Brendan's take and like Gene Hoglan's take on it.
Well, they might just dismiss this as snobbery, as like...
Oh, for sure. But that's such an easy take, too. Oh, those guys are just being snobs. And, like, maybe so. But also, like, these things are very, very special and very, very important to me and to a lot of people.
And if he was a true metalhead, he would feel that as well. He would know that this is, like, it's deeper than just, like, you know, this is the music I'm into. This is in your fucking heart.
Yeah.
That sounds so stupid, you know.
But it's true. It's true.
I tell it to my wife all the time. She's like, "You're a fucking idiot" when I say these things. But it's true. You don't get it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, metal.
But do people say that about knitting and fucking, I don't know, kite flying? I mean, maybe. Is this just a hobby or what? I don't know, man.
But that's it. I mean, metal is not just a hobby. It's a lifestyle. It's an identity. It is. You know that. Look at you. Look at your room.
It's just like that's a Hallmark card, though. It's like, this is my lifestyle, but it kind of is, I guess.
Dude,
I wear black all the time, and I love metal. I don't know what to say.
Turn around. Look at the room you're in.
Yeah. I mean, but there's some rap in there. There's some reggae, but mostly metal.
Yeah.
90% probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I would like to talk about it more when I've thought about these things a little bit deeper, because I have had people in my life, or, I've seen people that are like, oh, you're just being too like sensitive. It's just, it's just poking fun at stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, but like, this is the same type of shit that people were like trying to beat me up for in high school. Exactly. And now we're perpetuating it ourselves,
Yeah. Good call, man.
And you're categorizing these metalheads and these metal musicians as just dumbasses. Yep. Like, people have been doing that for decades. Like normies have, you know. So like, fuck that, man. I'm not into it. And when I see Metalocalypse, or no, what's the band called?
Death Clock.
Death Clock. Thank you. Yes.
Death Clock.
Okay, there again. Dumb fucking name.
Yeah, they just put two words together and spelled it weird.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Whenever I see them like play a festival or something, I'm just like, oh, come on. Like, really? You're really doing this? And like Gene Hoglan playing drums for them? I'm like, why?
I mean,
why is this happening?
Let's not fault the guy for wanting to pay check, just like Jeff Loomis. I think making money in this business is difficult. You take which work you can get.
But I'm just like,
Death Clock's playing festivals and shit, and they're probably headlining these things because there's so many people into it. So
they are. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What do they dress up? Like, how does it work?
I don't know.
They play live?
I've never seen them.
Yeah.
So this is what I'd like to do. I'd like for people to write in and tell us
the other perspective.
The other perspective. Or if you want to back us up too, that's cool. But I'm more interested in the perspective of like why it's quality, why it's a good thing. What are we missing here?
The two things I could think of are exposure to extreme music. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good thing. And that's it, I guess. Just one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's based on your age. I really do believe this. No, I think if you're older, then you would have bypassed it mostly.
Yeah, I do too. So here's a little weird tangent that I want you to think about for a second. Okay. So you're wearing a Lawnmower Death shirt.
Yep.
I love Lawnmower Death.
That?
DETH, just like Death Clock.
Death Clock.
Because that's a cliche.
Did they? It is, yes.
Yes, it's a cliche because of Megadeth. So, nice. Lawnmower Death, they are, I don't like the term joke band, but, they make humorous music. They're not a joke band because they are an actual band. It's not like they're a fake band. But they make humorous music and ridiculous music about bunnies and stuff like that.
Snails and stuff, yeah.
If their music was making fun of metalheads, metal music, and metal culture, would you still be interested in that band if the music was still the same? But if the topics...
Probably not. I'd be a lot more sensitive to it. Go ahead and make fun of bunnies, and like that's kind of funny with the contrast of extreme music. But making fun of like a culture that you're also playing the music of, you're right. That pissed me off.
It's weird.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a fan of that.
Yeah. So Jared and other people, like, please write in and let us know, like, what are we missing? Actually, Jared didn't take a stance, but since he put culture in quotes, I think he's probably a fan. And
I think so.
But anyway, seriously, like, I would just like to hear from people that support that bullshit. We have one listener email left.
That one got me all riled up.
I know, but seriously, Jared, thank you. Like, that's the type of shit I want. I want emails like that trigger me, that make me feel something. Like I'm literally like kind of angry right now.
Yeah, me too.
That's good. Thank you, Jared. Oh my God. Excuse me.
I did see, dude. I saw Danzig in a movie the other day. It was like a couple months ago now, but the other day, as you become almost 50, days become months. So I could say it was a day or two ago, but it was actually 2 months ago. Danzig was at the end of a movie, and it was done really well. And this was one of the first times. I'm sorry, I can't remember the movie right now, but it was one of the first times where it wasn't mocking, like a metal song wasn't mockingly used, in like a pop culture kind of thing.
Well, speaking of that, there was a really great movie a couple years ago. What was that movie called? About the the Metalhead Kid. And it was filmed in Portland.
Yeah, that's right. Shit.
Fuck, I have to look that up.
That was done pretty well too.
I thought that was really well done. It was honest. It was like, like metalhead teenagers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're super geeky. Actually, here, I'm going to look this up while we're doing this because this is important to me. It's...
Oh, Abigail. So the movie was Abigail. They did the song Blood and Tears by Danzig. Abigail, sorry, dude. Abigail was not a great movie. It was decent, but at the end, there was this fucking strange like dance scene of this maniac little girl, and they played Danzig during it. It was really done well. I appreciated that.
Oh, I thought you meant Danzig was in the film.
No,
just
the
music.
No, his music was used in the film. Yeah.
Okay, so the movie is Metal Lords.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
It was filmed in Portland.
Yeah, that was pretty fun to watch, actually.
Yeah, and it definitely touched on the fact like metalheads, especially teenage metalheads, can be dorks and geeky or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was done with like so much heart, and it was real. You know, they're playing Sabbath together, and it was just like it definitely didn't shy away from like the awkwardness and the geekiness. Yeah. But it didn't touch on those low hanging fruit subjects that we were talking about, and I really enjoyed it.
Nice. That's a good example.
Yep, I think so too. Okay, so one last listener email, and who do you think it might be from?
Sebastian?
Sebastian.
I love that guy.
Our bucket bot, yes.
Bucket bot.
Okay, Sebastian says,
Buckets
Happy
up.
New Year. Yeah, buckets up. Buckets up. I hope this email isn't too late and you haven't already recorded the next episode, but I wanted to wish you both and all the listeners a new full of music hate. Happy New Year.
Nice.
Cheers and all should drink, not only to Guar Kyle's, but to everybody's New Year.
Thank you.
House burnt, 3 cats dead. It's heartbreaking what happened to Jeff, and out of respect, all should play a part as little or as big as possible in helping him and his family out. Yeah, we talked about that last episode. Jeff Wagner, Radical Research. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Brutal. Lost his house, 3 cats. Really bad. Really, really bad.
But cool to see the community rally.
Yeah. And right after that, my old friend Kevin Huffnagel from Gorguts, his apartment burned too.
Jesus, dude.
Yep. He was living in an apartment, and his downstairs neighbor had an e-bike in the basement, and the battery on the e-bike exploded and caused a fire.
Fucking A.
I don't think he lost that much stuff. But yeah, still, it was like a week, 2 weeks after Jeff's issue.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
Sebastian says, I don't have kids, but if any of my dogs or cat were to die due to a fire or any reason, it would scar me for life, as in losing a child.
Yes.
A better year to Jeff, his wife, and his family. Before answering anything, I have a question regarding AI. Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Old school question. AI was so last year.
Oh, it's not part of our lives anymore.
No. Let's say you give the AI the prompt to list riffs or melodic lines, and then you tweak or combine straight up use them by re-recording, rearranging, or any other method. Would that be creating or still just AI? How would one notice if a skilled person does that in an unnoticeable way?
We won't notice. That's the point. It's going to be happening. It's probably already happening. We don't even know it. But
New Nevermore, all AI.
Better not. They better not. But yeah, I mean, still don't think you're an artist if you just just put a few riffs together based on what AI throws out. So
no.
I mean, people are doing that with the way it writes. They're just taking little bits and pieces of like something AI churns out and then using as their own emails. That's happening already. So
you're doing it with your wife, right?
Oh, when she was sick, I was talking to AI. She was giving me some great advice. Actually, the AI is a girl in my mind.
Of course. And you're having an issue with a mechanic too, and you're talking about maybe seeing like, how do I like communicate?
Yeah, well, because I was so nice to these guys. I wasn't like they're taking their time on my van, and so I was asking them. I was trying to get some tips on how to be a little more forceful, a little more more stern with them.
Yeah.
And so AI gave me some tips on that. Talk in this certain way, or maybe say these certain words. Like, thank you. That was really helpful. So I have a new friend.
Yeah. What's her name?
Amber.
Amber.
I don't know. Why does it have to be a girl? It gets all creepy,
Well, then it's like her.
Yeah, it's like her. Yeah, exactly.
Love that movie.
That's so good.
Okay.
Scary, though.
Excuse me. It's fucking cough.
So do you agree with that? If you just like take a bunch of riffs that AI churned out and put in a song, then it's still AI.
It's still AI, yeah.
So there's going to be plenty of art, quote unquote, just like culture. I'm using the quotes. There's going to be quote unquote artists, saying this is what I created.
Right.
But all they really did was put together shit that AI gave them.
I want a riff that sounds like Sabbath mixed with Maiden, played by Jeff Hanneman. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Dude.
It's possible. It's fucking possible.
And it would be amazing. I'd buy that.
Probably. I mean, AI is going to put out some good shit, and it's going to be stuff that we like, but we're not going to know,
No, we're not. Okay, then he says, regarding T-shirt of the day, fuck, marry, kill, or listener emails. If you guys don't feel like it, you should stop or come back to it whenever something is very special and deserves that type of mention. It should not be forced or feel like a drag. He says, I, for one, think that's what makes this podcast special. It's fun, engaging, and wholesome. I never thought of I Hate Music being wholesome.
Wholesome.
Yeah.
I'm providing wholesome. Hey Nick, what do you do with your free time? I provide wholesome entertainment.
Yep. For metal fans. Yeah.
For metal fans. Bring your children. Let them listen.
Exactly. Then
if they like Metalocalypse, and fuck those kids.
Fuck those guys. Yeah. If you've seen one episode of Metalocalypse or Portlandia,
you're not welcome.
Yeah.
You're not welcome.
GTFO.
Yeah.
He says, now that you mention it, no one said anything about them in emails, mostly because they're in audio format and one could not see the T-shirt. But where it shined the most was when Alan took the role of fashion police.
He's good at that. He's really good at that.
Fuck, marry, kill is witty, fun, and very stressful. And by that, awesome as hell.
Nice.
Listener's email, as it may sound selfish, makes one feel like they are part of the whole thing, interacting like it's a community where you, Jason, and Nick are the leaders, and us common folks contribute to the whole thing. Bottoms up, buckets full of booze. Happy New Year's to all.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Thanks, Sebastian.
Love you, man. What a guy.
Great. So great. Okay. Well, let's talk about 2024.
Okay.
Music.
It was a great year, I feel. My attention was drawn in multiple places. A lot of Bandcamp this year with the Dungeon Synth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like multiple lists going on. I had a Dungeon Synth list, which I shared on my Traveler's Rest profile, and then I had a overall music list. But Spotify wasn't as huge as it has been in the past. I've noticed my time being spent on physical media and then Bandcamp and then Spotify. So it probably got almost a third of my attention with music was Spotify, when previously it was almost 100%. So this is a very different year for me.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that in mind, that new Blood Incantation just like
yep.
Like it was pretty easy when I came down to the end of the year. I was just like, oh God, I love that so much. I love those guys' creative minds. I think that they're onto something here with this mixture of krautrock and
totally
and what they do with their death metal. And I liked them from the beginning, but I always felt like they were like almost Morbid Angel worship, you know, like it was so dead nosed to Morbid Angel at the beginning that they were obviously talented and amazing musicians and great songwriters, but it didn't set itself aside like it does now. Like something happened where they took it to the next level.
Yeah, agreed. That was my favorite metal album of 2024 for sure.
Oh, do you have a separate list as well then? Like
no, I mixed all my stuff together.
Okay.
Nice. I found myself not listening to a lot of metal this year. But yeah, Blood Incantation was top of my list for.
Do you feel like that was normal? Like what was abnormal about this year that your attention wasn't on metal as much? What was changing in your life?
I've been listening to a lot of hip hop and just trying to explore more electronic music.
Or are you just kind of like, okay,
yeah.
You set out to like seek this out?
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of not. But just I've been listening to a lot more electronic music too.
Yeah.
Just trying to not broaden my taste. That's not the right word. I'm trying to explore things that intrigue me, in ways where I don't really understand what's happening. Like I've been listening to metal for so long. Like even though there's good releases, I'm like, oh, this is cool. But it's not hitting me in this way where I'm like, oh shit, like I've never really experienced this before.
Something fresh, non-derivative, all these things that are difficult to do in the genre at the moment. Sure.
Yeah, as a metal listener in 2024 or 5, it's hard to bring me something I haven't heard before.
For sure.
So yeah, I've been kind of leaning away from that a little bit, and I'm really trying to learn from other artists, especially electronic artists. Like, what are these guys doing? How do they accomplish it? And like performance-wise too. So I've been listening to a lot of hip hop and things like Aphex Twin. Man, on the spot right now. Coil.
Those are all like established older bands.
Yeah.
Are they putting out new music still, or?
I'm not sure.
But you were just going back then.
I was just going back, and so in that process, I'm discovering new artists.
That's
and
cool.
Some of them are current, and so like my favorite records of the year, that Blood Incantation, the new Doechii record. I've just been obsessed with Doechii. Tyler the Creator, his new record, the new Kendrick Lamar is fantastic.
Nice, I haven't heard that.
Oh, it's so great. Veronica Vaughn, which I've talked about on this podcast a few times, but their new record is fantastic. Actually, let me share the I Hate Music Spotify playlist so people can see what I'm looking at. But
we could share my. I put my list on Facebook if you want to open that at some point.
Okay,
we could, look
cool.
at that as well.
And I see you added some stuff on here too.
I did, but that's not necessarily the top
because it's just Spotify.
Yeah.
But like for me, again, Doechii, Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar, Veronica Vaughn, Blood Incantation we talked about, Chapel Roan, she's fantastic. Number one for me though has got to be the new Thief. I mean, I love those guys dearly as people, musicians, artists.
You're tatted, bro.
I'm tatted. I have a fucking Thief tattoo.
Number one fan, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
well, and you're doing a lot by talking about them like you are and helping them grow. And I think that's awesome too. You're using your platform to help them because they deserve it for sure.
I try to help them as much as I possibly can in any way that I can. Because
it's a sincere thing. It's not like it's just like you're not hired to do it.
They don't pay me nearly enough for the work that I do.
Yeah.
And new Allura Crucible, Toby Driver's project.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic. It's so great. So if you go to Spotify, you can follow the I Hate Music playlist. We updated it today. Do you want to play
one of these songs? This Doechii one I'm interested in.
I do actually
know what that is, but whatever you want. But
yeah, I do. Cool. Sorry, I keep coughing and I'm trying to move the mic away, so excuse me. But actually, what I want to do is I do want to play a Doechii song. That's the one I wanted to play.
Oh, nice.
But what I want to do is play her performance of this song, Denial is a River. Okay. I want to play her Tiny Desk performance of it.
Cool.
So the people who are watching on Spotify or YouTube can see the video, but everybody else can just hear it. But here's something that's been really appealing to me lately, and I first was made aware of it last year, maybe the year before, with Megan Thee Stallion. And I feel like there's this movement of hip-hop currently of like these really, really badass women who are making a really amazing hip-hop, but they're also kind of throwing back to like the socially conscious hip-hop of like Diggable Planets or Tribe Called Quest, but they're still throwing their kind of like filthy, like Eat My Pussy type of raps with those type of like jazzy influences. And I love it so much. And the reason I want to play the Tiny Desk concert is because I think when people listen to stuff like Megan Thee Stallion or Doechii on record, it's like, oh, it's an album. You know, it's her and a bunch of producers and they're laying down beats in Pro Tools or whatever.
Yep.
But when you watch the Megan Thee Stallion Tiny Desk, you can see she has a full band, and these people are doing this live. And it's the same thing with Doechii. Like, this is hip hop, but it's like jazz influenced hip hop, but they're actually performing as a full band.
Badass.
And that's why I want to play the Denial's a River is like her hit right now. It's a very short song, and then she goes into another short song. So I want to play that little sequence from the Tiny Desk.
I will allow you to do so, sir.
Awesome. I appreciate that. All the songs flow together on this performance.
Oh, like South of Heaven.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking, just like South of Heaven.
There was no breaks. And I think Rick Rubin might have come up with that. Dude, maybe he's to blame.
Oh,
he's
man.
the first.
I love stuff like that. But yeah, this is Doechii Tiny Desk Concert. Her new album is called Alligator Bites Never Heal. And
I imagine they don't, dude.
Dude, I am obsessed with this shit. It is like, it's so cool for me to see these black women who are just absolutely kicking ass, and they're not just singing with a DJ. They have these full bands, and these people have chops, and they're doing like, it's dark, it's engaging, it's funny, and Doechii does like this weird like vocalizing and like almost like Patton-esque stuff sometimes.
Oh shit.
I'm so into it. So this is going to be a few minutes of 2 different songs from Doechii from the Tiny Desk Concert, and again, her new album is called Alligator Bites Never Heal.
Is it their last name or something, or what's this?
I think it's her first name, Doechii.
Oh, cool.
Doechii. So here's a funny little anecdote before I play this. I just discovered this person 2 weeks ago, and I've been obsessed ever since.
Nice.
And the funny part is that I did my Grammy voting one day.
Yeah, you have the power, bro.
Yeah, I did my Grammy voting, let's say on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I saw this name. I was like, Doechii, I don't know what this is. And I voted for Chappell Roan instead. Discovered Doechii the next morning, and I was like, fuck.
You wasted your vote.
I voted for the wrong person. I voted for Trump in this situation. Not really. I love Chappell Roan too.
Chappell Roan's not Trump.
No, I love Chappell Roan too, and I'm super, super happy for her.
She'll be successful, I'm sure, in the Grammys.
Yeah,
I imagine.
Oh, God, she's gonna clean up, I'm sure.
Yeah. So you voted with the popular vote. Actually.
I did. I was the popular vote. I didn't want to waste my vote. No, but seriously, this shit hits me in this way where I am like, it's familiar to me, but it pushes me out of my comfort level just enough where I find it intriguing and fascinating.
Nice.
So here we go. This is Doechii's Tiny Desk Concert.
Hey, the gang's all here. Hey, no chip on my shoulder. What she say? Let's go. It's a sunny day. Hey, the gang's all here. Hey, no chip on my shoulder. All right, Milan, I gotta tell you a story. Remember old dude from 2019? Nice, clean nigga did me dirtier than laundry. Took a scroll through his IG just to get a DM from his wife. What the fuck? I was so confused. What should Doechii do? She didn't know about me and I didn't know about Sue. I opened up the messages and had to hit the zoom. Turns out the girl was really a dude. Nigga think he slick back till I slip back. Got my lick back, turned a nigga to a knick-knack. I moved on, dropped a couple of songs, and then I went and got signed. Now it's 2021. Hey! Okay, I just feel like this is the perfect opportunity for us just to unpack what's happened here. I mean, you said that this guy cheated on you? Nah, fuck it. Platinum record this, viral record that. I'm making so much money, I'm all over the net. I'm moving so fast, no time to process. And no, I'm not in the game, but I'm always on set. Wristwatch, drip, drop, label on the TikTok. Now I'm making TikTok music, what the fuck? I need a cleanse, need a detox, but we ain't got time to stop. The charts need us. Fast forward me, 2023. I'm stacking lots of cheese and making money. My grass is really green and honestly, I can't even fucking count no more. It's a really dark time for me. I'm going through a lot. By a lot, you mean drugs? I wouldn't. Drugs? No, it's a natural plan.
I'm not judging.
I don't think.
I'm just saying.
I'm not an addict.
You want to talk about it?
I mean, fuck. I like pills. I like drugs. I like getting money. I like strippers. I like to fuck. I like day drinking and day parties in Hollywood. I like doing Hollywood shit. It probably would. What can I say? The shit works, it feels good, and my self-worth's at an all-time low. And just when it couldn't get worse, my ex crashed my place and destroyed all I own. Whoopsie, made a oopsie. $100,000 oops made me loopy. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Don't wanna have to turn a nigga guts into soup.
Whoa, Doshi. You're getting beside yourself.
Sorry.
So let's take it easy, okay? So Tiny Desk, let's do this breathing exercise with her, okay? Can
you help me breathe?
Let's go. All right, Tiny Desk. I want to introduce you to four-time Grammy-nominated Rapstress of the game, the one, the only, Doshi. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Tell a bitch, hoorah. Step up in this bitch, I look too fly. Cop the Dior shit on Ventura. Took a midnight swim in my Jula. These hating bitches clog my medulla. I showed the bitch my pen, then I shot a essay them in my Jula. Don't cheat the time,
Don't cheat the dean, don't you supreme the swan.
freaky little, sneaky little, creepy little whack bitch. Creeping on me, speaking on me, sleeping on me, mattress. Now I got some bands to burn and bars to bend them backwards. It's time to wake them up, cause they been sleeping on the track list. Body so attractive, y'all be giving catfish. Log them off the web and every gangster's giving actress. Gangsters giving actress, and all these fake activists leave me baffled, bewildered, relax a bit.
Let me relax a bit, I think I need to cool it off. I put some pep up in my step and then I do it up. I shot my cutlery and hit my jeweler up.
Tell a bitch, hoorah. Step up in this bitch, I look too fly. Cop the Dior shit on Ventura. Took a midnight swim in my Jula. These hating bitches clog my medulla. I showed the bitch my pen, then I school her. Shot a essay them in my
Doshi the Don, Doshi the D, Doshi Supreme the Swan.
niggas dick ride. The dick riders gon' dick ride. Make a few bands and switch tribes, they switch. Niggas flip scripts like B-sides. Who these guys? Only thing switching on me
It's thick thighs.
I been did the black stuff, then I did the clown face. Took them to the swamp meet, that was on a Saturday. Mud on the Prada boot, and that was on a bad day. I'm the hardest rapper in your motherfucking, put your hands up. Step up in this, took a midnight swimming. These hating bitches call my medulla. I showed the bitch my pen, then I schooled her. Shot an essay, damn in my Jula. Don't cheat the time, don't cheat the deed. Tiny Desk, rock out.
Want the fast?
Hell yeah.
Dude.
I
Did
love
you
that
intend
shit.
to stop it right there? Or was it from the ad? The ad?
Well, I mean, it was supposed to stop right there anyway, so I was just
perfect.
like, the ad came in right at the right time, but
Fuck, man, I don't. It's all over the place. She
Dude.
raps, she sings, she's talking story there. That
yeah,
was amazing.
talking story, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, excuse me, the day I got the phone call that my dad had a heart attack, Aaron and I were on our way to Brewhouse Brewery to go visit them and have a beer, and Aaron's like, have you heard Dochi? I'm like, no, like, what the hell is that? And she's like, oh my God, really? And like, it's been on everybody's radar but mine. And so she put it on in the car, and I was like, literally like, oh my God, like, I need to absorb this. This is like so what I need in my life right now. And like, for me, it's like a throwback to Diggable Planets, Tribe Called Quest, like all that stuff
Totally is.
I mentioned, but with this like modern take.
Yep.
And dude, I love it. I love it.
And the musicians were all top skilled, and
Oh, hell
they're
yeah.
all women. It's like,
Yeah.
this is amazing, dude.
Badass.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice pick, dude.
Super into that. Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me play that.
No, that was fun. Especially watching the video and watching the energy. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, there's a music video for that first song that I almost played, but then I saw this Tiny Desk, and I was like, that would be more fun. So,
Nice. Good
yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Well, my list is not as, as diverse as yours, I'd say. But yeah, Blood Incantation #1. We together experienced the Twin Tribes this year.
Oh man, that's so good. Yeah,
and that was at Hell's Heroes in Houston, and their album's called Pendulum. That was my #2. Fucking great,
so great,
dude. So great,
so good.
I got really into this band called Iotune, Iotunn. I'm not sure how to spell it, but they put out this really tight, progressive thrash kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I believe they're from Finland or something. And their album's called Kinship. That's great. Zombie put out a new album, dude.
Oh, yeah. I haven't listened to that yet.
And that's amazing. And let us not forget, none of these songs are actually on my list here. And let us not forget about the Crip Sermon album.
Yes, I did forget about it, actually.
Yeah. I mean, things are just coming and going so quickly now.
I know.
That
yeah.
I've noticed it with the promotion of my own shit. It's like there's like a week of time where people have their, maybe you're going to discover it. After that, unless you're like, I don't know, making interesting content online or something, how the fuck are you supposed to promote your shit? It's really hard.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
And then like, even when you are getting noticed, people are like, okay, this is cool. And then the next week they're like, what was I listening to? Like, what was that?
Our attention spans are all fucked up.
All fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And so are mine. I mean, Crip Sermon was like the middle of the year and you just forget about it because that was in June or something.
Yeah.
But, Tanner, our friend, is on that, and he's just, I mean, the whole band is incredible. It's like a really blended mixture of all types of metal, which is a really cool thing to hear. But what I'd like to play is this Joy Shannon song, and it's on the list here.
Yeah,
it's called The Spell. Yeah.
Okay.
This lady I also discovered relatively recently in December, and let's see, I forget how I even discovered it. Anyway, she does this really folky, I don't know, I think it's like Dark Enya or something. It's really folky Irish kind of music.
Nice.
But I believe she's American. And she's played with a couple people that we know. Eric.
Errol Ruin? Okay. Yep.
He's on her new album. And Jessica Way is also on her new album. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
So I'm going to play that song, but rounding out my top 10 is the Fulci, Tune Your Stab Wounds, great death metal. And the new Body Count, fucking awesome. I'm a sucker for Body Count. I'm a sucker for Ice-T.
You are.
Except for his acting. I really hate his acting. I don't think he's a good actor. But anything he puts out musically, I'm just a big fan of. He tells it like it is. He does not fuck around.
Just like Homer Simpson tells it like it is. Yeah.
And rounding out my top 10 is the new Oxygen Destroyer, another great death metal band.
And you have something on here called Bashy too?
Yeah, this guy I discovered when I was traveling around England. I saw his billboard.
I think I've seen this.
And I was like, what's this? And I was just on my phone and I saw it from the bus or something. I just checked it out. And that track is really great. And,
awesome.
I'm not going to play it right now, but if anybody wants to check it out, it's on the I Hate Music Spotify playlist.
Awesome.
And there's another band called Inner Wish. That's a great album too. Some power metal there.
Okay. Awesome. So you want to play The Spell by Joy Shannon?
Please.
Here we go.
Keep wounding
your smell and hears this hell. Love you, know well. Remember your spell. Keep your heart pure. That's how you'll endure.
Are you awake?
That's
Still
awesome.
awake?
Yeah.
You're still awake.
Very much so. Yeah, I really dug that. It's funny because it reminds me of Jessica Way.
Yeah. What was that band? Warm or
Ouroboros with Aesop. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I love that lady's voice. I don't know, something about it, the way she harmonizes and stuff. And it's I don't know. It's not Dungeon Synth, but it could be.
No, it could be. I think if you put a synth in the background, it could be Dungeon Synth.
Yep.
It's got those same vibes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really cool. I've never heard of that person. But I looked up the other person, Emily Jane White, and she's from Oakland as well. So I wonder if Joy Shannon is from Oakland. Cause
her Instagram says Los Angeles, so I don't know, but somewhere in California.
Okay. Yeah, very cool stuff. I dig that.
I also put out a top 10 movie list.
I did too. I mean, I didn't put it out. I've just got it here.
But I've seen a couple since I put that out that I might have added. But I think we could both agree that Nosferatu was right up there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw it recently?
I saw it Sunday, I think. Yeah. Very recently. I mean,
What'd you think?
excuse me. Robert Eggers is one of my favorite directors.
Oh, yeah.
So no surprise that I loved it. The thing I really liked about it is not only was it beautiful and the sound design was incredible and the acting was great. I feel like so many horror movies are like, it's like it has to be balanced out with like a moment of levity or something. Like they have to like put something in there that takes me out of it a little bit, whether it's like a jokey moment or a lighthearted moment or bad CGI or bad special effects or a dumb monster. I feel like there's always something like that. And with Nosferatu, I felt like it was just unrelenting darkness.
Yes.
And this could be an exaggeration, but like, I feel like this is the first time I've seen some kind of horror film where I'm just like, it just didn't let up. And when other movies would kind of start to yield a little bit, it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And it was so gorgeous. It just, the colors and the sets and yeah.
Let's read Jason's Letterboxd review. He gave this 4.5 stars, by the way.
Yeah.
This is his Letterboxd review. I love this director so much. I feel like my entire life of being a horror film fan, I've never felt like it was never taken far enough. Horror films are always ruined by jokes, cliches interjected with a sense of levity, ruined by bad special effects or stupid monsters. This film was unrelenting darkness in the best way possible. In some ways, I've been waiting my whole life for this film. Edward Scissorhands' daughter... That's who she is.
Yeah.
That's Edward Scissorhands' daughter. And Jason's known for interjecting Edward Scissorhands. This one actually fucking makes sense, though.
Right. That's why I did it. Yeah.
It's amazing. Guy, you're a genius, bro. You're a fucking genius.
I am a genius.
Edward Scissorhands' daughter does a fantastic job. Everyone is amazing in this film. The music is amazing. The shots are beautiful. I cannot recommend this film enough. I agree. Great review. Great review. Wasn't it really important, do you think, to see in the theater because of how dark it was? I feel like at home I'd miss a lot of things because it's shot so darkly.
Well, and the sound, too. Like, the sound is so overwhelming in the theater.
Yeah.
Did you see it at the Hollywood?
No, I saw it at some fucking suburban place.
Right, yeah.
Bridgeport Village or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like seeing at home is something I will do immediately when it's streaming because of subtitles. Because I want to hear what the guy said because I couldn't tell all the time.
Count Orlok was very
deep. It was deep.
I am here to talk to you.
Yeah, they had these sounds behind his voice as well. Yeah, it was almost like there was a chorus of ghouls that were behind him. Beautiful.
Yeah, amazing. I didn't really rank films as far as like top 10 or anything, but that's definitely one of my favorites of the year.
What other ones can you think of that would be at the top?
Love Lies Bleeding. Do you see that?
No.
Kristen Stewart from Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she stars in it. It's A24. It's
funny that you say it like that. I mean, she's been in other things.
I know. That's just how I know her. Are you pulling up my Letterboxd review?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I will.
I thought you were.
I was actually writing down. I was writing down the name of that movie because I didn't really. It's not on my radar.
Love Lies Bleeding. It's a heartwarming story of two mixed up kids who are at a gym, bodybuilders, and I think you'd like it. It reminds me of if Beau Was Afraid was a lot more tame. It's kind of like that in a way.
Oh, okay.
But it's
interesting.
It's when I say heartwarming, I'm being facetious.
Yeah.
It's great.
4.5 star. 4 star. 3 stars, dude.
Yeah. 3 stars.
What's up, man? That's not a top of the list movie.
It takes a lot for anything to go over 3 stars.
Okay, so 3 stars could still end up being near the top of your 2024 list. Here's his review. I really enjoyed this, but it started to lose me towards the end.
Yeah, it did.
The beginning felt more rough and real and mysterious, and then the end more fantastical, which usually tends to lose me. Think I may have seen Edward Scissorhands in the background at one point. Yeah, he's known for putting Edward. Why Edward Scissorhands?
Every review, I don't know. Okay. I don't do it every review anymore. It's like FMK. I don't do it every time anymore.
Nice. Yeah.
Just when it feels natural.
You can't force it, bro.
No, can't force it. But yeah, that was a really cool. It did lose me a little bit towards the end, but kind of in retrospect, I started to appreciate the ending a little bit more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll check it out.
But yeah, it's really good. I also this is a surprise for me, but I really loved Iron Claw.
Oh, I did as well.
Yeah.
It actually didn't make my list, but I enjoyed that one.
I liked it a lot.
The ending was stupid.
The ending was kind of stupid, yes.
Oh, bothered me, but the story was cool.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would really care about it, but I love Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, the whole thing I just thought was really great. And then there was one other that I forgot to write down. Civil War. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I watched that. I gave it like 3 stars or something. I feel like Kirsten Dunst was not acting really well in that.
Yeah.
I feel like she was a little off or something. Her character, she doesn't play that kind of grumpy photographer character very well. But this is something that could happen to us as a country. So it's kind of It's a stressful movie.
I think that's what I enjoyed about it the most. Is I like these movies that are, it's social commentary, obviously.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I liked it. And then the last thing on my list is not a movie, but a TV show. But I feel like for me, it was so powerful. Baby Reindeer.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. It made you feel... That was another stressful, actually. Yeah. Watching that made you feel really icky, almost just like, oh, this is a sad situation that we find ourselves in here.
Yeah. If you follow me,
wonderfully shot.
If you follow me on Letterboxd, Moonbladder, I believe in my review.
You have to. Everybody must follow him. He is really good at reviewing, and they're hilarious.
I believe that my Baby Reindeer review says something about. I can't
Can I
imagine.
read it? I'll
Yes,
read it.
Please do. Please do.
I just don't know how TV can get better than this, especially with only a handful of episodes. A fascinating study into mental health, love, relationships, and life. Absolutely stunning.
Yep.
Very good.
Did I give it like 4 or 5?
4.5.
Yeah.
You gave Civil War 4 stars, but no review.
I was on a plane. I was watching that over the Pacific Ocean on my way to Australia or back or something.
Yeah, okay. Let me know what you feel. I watched this movie last night, and I just noticed you reviewed it. I saw the TV glow.
Okay.
What did you think about that? Because I read afterwards that it was an experience of somebody that was trans that wasn't able to come out. And I think about the movie very differently.
Oh,
knowing that this person, the main character.
Well, yeah, I would too.
They talked about his sexuality a little bit. They're like, he was like, I don't know how I feel. I want to open my body up and explore inside and see what's there. Because he didn't feel like he was a male or a female. And I feel, and what I read afterwards was that a lot of trans people feel like this. And when they see this movie, it really encapsulates how they feel about life. And because he put himself obsessed. He was obsessed with this kind of girl movie or whatever, girl TV show from the 90s. Yeah.
Huh.
He was obsessed with it. And he didn't know how to live his life as who he really was, or she really was.
I had no idea.
Yeah, either did I till afterwards, because it was an interesting movie. It was like 3 and 3.5 stars or something, but it wasn't the best. And then when I read a few other reviews, I was like, oh shit, if I look at it that way, it's actually a really good movie.
Huh.
Interesting.
I wish I would have known that going into it, or maybe directly thereafter. Yeah. I did like it, but it kind of came off to me as, I don't know, not like a teeny bopper movie, but it had this feel. It's like a Stranger Things type of thing, which nothing against Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. It felt like, I feel like if I would have known the context, it would have hit me harder.
I think they did a good job with the female character. She was very 90s.
Yes.
They did a good job with her outfit, her gothiness, like her whole attitude was like, oh, wow, that's kind of how girls were. Some of that the type of girl was.
Yeah. I did like it. I watched it a few months ago, so it's not like super, super crisp in my mind. But
another one I watched just a couple of days ago that was put out last year, but I didn't make my list because I hadn't seen it. I'm very strict with my rules here, Jason.
Yes, you are. That's good.
If I don't see it before January 1st, then it doesn't count because I already put my top 10 list together.
There you go.
Anyway, it was Night Bitch with Amy Adams.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it was really, if you're a parent, you can totally relate. I think if you're a parent with a young child right now, you probably shouldn't watch it because it just highlights how kids destroy your life, basically.
Yeah. Wow.
It was really interesting. It kind of ended in a happier note, but the whole, hour and a half of the first part of the movie was about just her hating her life as a parent.
Damn.
Really crazy.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that. There's just so many films, and I feel like I just kind of went through Letterboxd today, and I was like, what movies this year did I see?
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm sure I'm forgetting something too.
Well, The Substance, I don't think you saw that one.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you got to see it. And Heretic as well. We're also really good.
I'm sure both of those would be on my list.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it was 2024, but I also really loved Infinity Pool.
Oh yeah, that was last year. Awesome.
Was it? Yeah.
That's Cronenberg's son.
Cronenberg's son, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. That guy's great.
Yeah, I loved that film too. I'm sure Substance will be up there. I saw one of my favorite movies ever just a couple months ago, but it was like from 2017 or something like that, or earlier. Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's great.
So good. And Poor Things, dude. I loved Poor Things, but that was 2023.
Did you watch his newer one?
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to.
Yeah, we watched it. Man, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Didn't hit like Poor Things did. And same director.
Yeah. I love Poor Things.
Fucking the actor, he was in Poor Things too. He played the older professor guy.
Oh, yeah.
Willem Dafoe. Dude,
yes.
He's so good. He's so good. He's like, if you love Willem Dafoe, kindness, you got to watch them.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, I love Yorgos Lanthimos. He's become one of my favorite directors. I recently have been going through like his older films that are all in Greek, and those are fucked up too.
Oh, really?
Like Alps and Dogtooth.
Yeah, I saw those on your list. I haven't seen Dogtooth or Alps.
They're both worth watching, but they're not nearly as good as...
I'm afraid that this guy might go the Lars von Trier route, which is way up your ass. Like, he's so full of himself that he loses himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. That's what I was feeling when I was watching Kind of Kindness, because I was just like, oh man, he thinks too highly of himself. Like, he feels like he can put out anything, it's going to be genius,
Right.
It wasn't.
Poor Things was fucking amazing,
dude,
though.
Poor Things was amazing. That was my favorite movie last year, I believe. Yeah,
Killing of a Sacred Deer, though, was like halfway through it, I had the same feelings during Baby Reindeer. Like, I just don't know how something can get more powerful than this. It was just like, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's like certain moments in that film where I was like, I am just like destroyed by this. Like it is like
isn't that a good feeling? This is
so
why
great.
we want to watch movies,
So
right?
great.
We want to put ourselves. We've talked about this in the past, but this is why we expose ourselves to this kind of art. It's we have to feel something. It's not. I don't want to be zoned out, dude. I don't want to be like. I want to be absorbed by a story in somebody else's life and fucking powerfully feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about TV too much aside from Baby Reindeer, but
I didn't watch enough to even create a list.
I did, but nothing that really hit me a lot aside from Severance. That was great.
Dude, so good. Just rewatched it because I'm getting ready for season 2.
Me too. It comes out like next week or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. And the way they ended that, it kind of pisses me off because they obviously knew it was going to continue, but why does it take 3 years to put new shit out?
I know.
I read online it was like the writer's strike and all these things.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine, I guess.
And of course, I don't think it was 2024, but The Curse.
Oh, dude, of course. Yeah, that was last year. Yeah, that was my top show from last year as well.
That was so great. Last year it's not last year anymore. It's
2 years ago now.
2 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then this is the year of your 50th. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Wish I could get rid of this fucking cough, but
No, not physically. I mean, I know that you have a cough, but 50 is a milestone of some sort.
oh man, it's a huge milestone. Yeah.
So do you have any power behind that, or is it just whatever? It doesn't matter.
It does feel kind of empowering, actually. I feel like I think I've shared this with a lot of my friends, but I feel like I'm leaning into myself even more. I mean, my kids are pretty much grown. They still live with me, but they're pretty much grown. I've pretty much been lucky enough to always know who I am, but I also feel like I'm just shedding boundaries and paradigms that I've put around myself, and I'm just like leaning into myself more and more and more. And I'm finding the time to explore things that I want to do more and more. And really, I feel like life, even though it becomes really hard at times, it's opening itself up to me in ways that it hasn't before. And I just can't help but think it's like everything's leading up to this time of being 50, Yeah. I feel more confident.
As somebody close to you, I've noticed that you're just being... I mean, it's been a while now, but you've just been really open-minded about things. You're exposing yourself to new things. That music that we just heard was maybe not something we would have seen from you 10 years ago or something, but this is really a cool part of our lives, and I feel like you're embracing it, which is great.
Yeah, I think I am, and I'm excited by it. It's like, I feel like I have so many people or know so many people that at this time they are just like, oh, I don't want to leave the house.
Yeah, and winding down a little bit.
Yeah, like I don't want to check out new music. And
yeah.
Music used to be better, and films used to be better, and I don't want to do this. And I'm like, I'm just the opposite. I'm like, I want to travel. I want to try new things. I want to eat new foods. I want to experience the world. The world is still out there, and there's still amazing things going on. And I don't want to be sitting in my house and just being a recluse and not having new experiences. And now's the time to do it,
Yep.
So
good call. And you're going to have a lot more free time on your hands. And these are times you can use to keep growing, dude, because that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. I also made a short list about books.
Oh, you know how many books I read this year?
0.
3.
Yeah, I didn't read very much either.
Pretty sad. I can't fucking believe it. I think I'm blaming the phones or something.
I fell out of reading for most of the year, but got back into it in the fall. But yeah,
how many did you read? Do you think
3 or 4?
Maybe that's not important. It was quality
3 or 4.
over quantity. Yeah.
3 or 4. But I realized I didn't read any books that came out this year.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's tough to do that.
Yeah. But I did read Siddhartha for the first time.
Nice. Yeah, I read that a while ago. That's a great one.
That was amazing. Yeah. I also read Goodbye Vitamin by Rachel Khong. That's like 2017, I think, but that's a really great story from a Vietnamese writer.
Did you finish the Camus Bell one, or?
No, actually, it's kind of a cool story, but I'm like, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through, and then after my dad passed, Dylan sent me a book called No Fear, No Death. And it's basically like Buddhist perspectives and theories on life and death and birth. And he said that it helped his girlfriend get through some loss and some grieving. And so they sent me that as a gift. And so nice. I decided I'm going to put Kamau aside for the moment and read that. So I've been reading that. I'm maybe a quarter of the way through right now. But yeah, it's I don't know much about Buddhism, but my dad was really interested in it and he read a lot about it. And so I was like, this will be a cool way to kind of like dive into it a little bit. So
honor him a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like a quarter of the way into it, but it's talking about how like there's no birth, there's no death. The universe is all about conditions. And right now, the conditions aren't right for him to be in the world, but he's in the trees, he's in the sky, and like they give these examples like if you see a cloud, like that, would you ever ask the cloud, like, when were you born? When did you die? Like the cloud disperses and it turns into rain and then it feeds the grass. And then, and so like this guy's saying like, next time you pick up an ice cream, like look at the ice cream and say, hello cloud, I recognize you, stuff like that. It's just, it's
cool.
A Buddhist way of looking at the world, of being everything connected and nothing exists, nothing doesn't exist. It's all a whole.
Beautiful. I
like
that.
Yeah, I've been reading that. So I put everything else aside until I'm finished with that, and then I'll finish the Kamau book.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because you had that with you, I think on both of our trips that we went on together this year.
Yeah, I was reading it on and off all year. The problem is I was reading multiple books at once. I'd have one upstairs that I'd read, one downstairs, one in my bag, and then it was just...
Oh, geez.
It was ridiculous. So,
and I think previously we were both trying to read the obituary book, and I don't think either of us finished that. It wasn't really well written.
It wasn't great. I did finish it finally, but what about you? Did you read anything of note?
No, I don't have it in front of me anyway. But no. But I'm making my. I don't know if you're one for resolutions or anything, but that is one of mine to read a little bit more. So I'm trying to create the habits where I set myself up that I can have some time to read. I have time to do other shit. Why not make time to read too?
Exactly. Yeah, it's important, but it's easy to fall off the wagon too.
Sure is. Yeah, sure is. We have a lot of distractions, a lot of content out there.
A lot of content
that needs to be listened to, watched.
Yep.
Scrolled through.
Yeah. Or eaten. I have a list of meals, top meals of 2024.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Ranking everything. What were your favorite socks this year?
Yeah.
Okay. What were your top meals, dude?
My top meal of 2024 was Mabu Mabu in Melbourne.
Nice.
And I bought the cookbook. You can't see it because my room is so dark for some reason.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Nice.
I had the lighting totally set when I got in here, but I think the sun went down or something and now fucked it up. But anyway, badass woman. Her name is Nornie Barrow. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. She is from the Bering Straits, and she moved to Melbourne, and she is doing like authentic. Well, I hate that term. It's overused, but she's doing food that she grew up with, basically, in Melbourne. And we went there, and I had crocodile tongue, and I think I talked about that on a different episode. But emu steak, all this crazy shit, and it was amazing, and definitely my top meal.
Nice. Is that a well-regarded restaurant in Melbourne? It must be if she has a cookbook and all that.
I think so, yeah. And
Did you have to get reservations and stuff, or how did?
No, we just kind of like walked in. We just lucked out.
Yeah, that's great.
But we went in there and because we wanted to try kangaroo, and it was the only place we could find a kangaroo. And so we walked in, and I was like, God, this just looks familiar. You know, when you get that feeling, I was just like, I know this from somewhere. So I had to Google it, and I realized there's this weird ass show that Aaron and I watched. I can't remember what it's called, but it's Zac Efron and some dude, and it's like this climate change, climate awareness, environmental thing series on Netflix. And they go to her restaurant and they talk to her. And so like I knew her from the show.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize going in that you're I love when shit like that happens.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that was a top one for sure. And then secondary, I had a great meal at Kachka.
Nice. That place is great.
Yeah, with Hamilton from Genghis Tron and my wife. And then Eam
Oh, Eames the best.
Eam is amazing.
Dude, they have this beef kind of. I'm gonna fuck it up. It's like a curry, I guess, but it's a smoked beef or smoked brisket.
It's
or
a
something.
brisket, the white brisket curry. Yeah,
Dude, that shit's so fucking good.
so good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so good. Lovely's 50/50.
Nice.
Had a great meal there.
I went there this year as well. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. What about you? You went to that. You keep talking about that one place. What's that place? Cara, something.
What are we talking about here? Khan.
Khan. That's it. Yeah.
Khan. Dude, I went there this year. That's wonderful. It's he's from Haiti, I think, the cook.
Okay.
But he mixes it. It's kind of fusion with Pacific Northwest. So it's kind of a cool mix of like Caribbean spice with, local cuisine.
Nice.
Nimble Fish, dude.
Oh, I don't know about
Sushi.
this place. Oh yeah. I've heard of it.
That place is so good, and you have to book it in advance so they know how much fish to buy and to prepare for the day and stuff like that. But man, I've been there twice now. That place is amazing. But I think it's kind of expensive. It's like $100 for the omakase menu.
Oh, yeah.
So you get a bunch. You get a bunch of stuff, but
Yeah.
and then you end up buying sake and all that stuff. So
Sure.
it gets a little spendy, but I enjoyed it. That's all I can think of right now. Yeah.
What about the last thing I had made a list of were experiences.
Oh my gosh.
Favorite experiences of 2024.
Well, I did a bunch of traveling. That was always good with you and with Sarah. I mean, it was my third or fourth time being in Japan. I think that living there I wouldn't do, but visiting as often as possible is something I would love to do. It's just so wonderful as far as food goes and culture and, the niceness of people and stuff. And for me and you, I feel like both of our trips are great. Baltimore was a different experience this year because you were actually playing, but I think we still managed to have a good time. And Houston was really fun. Yeah,
it was. It was really
the
fun.
City, and we also, had some good beers and met some cool people. And I mean,
had some
I
good
love
pizza
traveling and listening to metal. It gives me a reason to go somewhere.
Yeah.
That I would never have gone. Like I don't think Houston would be on my radar.
No, not at all.
So,
not at all.
So I was happy you could join me for that.
Yeah, me too.
Solitude
That was
Eternus
great.
was so important to me, and I know that you love them too. So I'm glad we could bond on that. So
For sure. Yeah, no, that was great.
yeah, I mean, I went to England and Scotland this year, and went to California a couple times. Shit, I don't know what else, but yeah, good year for traveling for sure.
Traveling. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, same. Australia tour was huge for me. Experiences.
Fuck yeah.
The Thief show that I did, Moonblighter Thief show in LA, that was great. That was it's so good to be a part of their album release show. And
that's cool.
That's when I kind of started finding my voice as Moonblighter.
Yeah, you changed after that.
Yeah, it changed pretty drastically in a lot of ways. And now I feel like I've finally kind of found what I'm trying to do with this project. And that, and then the little tour I did with Feral Season and the little couple shows I did around Lunasa and Azoth, all those kind of informed what I'm doing now.
Your engagement, your enthusiasm for playing live now is, I'm sure it was there before as well, but you have a new sense of energy around it, and it's really great to see.
For sure. I definitely do. I feel more comfortable with what I'm doing now.
Experimenting with vocals and in crowd engagement, all these things, man, that's fucking confidence right there.
Yeah, really and good. It was kind of going back to what I was saying earlier too, I had these hang-ups about certain things, I don't want to use backing tracks, and I don't want to, all of these things.
You should see my Traveler's Rest shit, dude.
Right. Well, I'm just I thought about it, and I was like, look at Thief. They have a ton of backing tracks. They have drums, bass, and vocals live, but they have backing tracks. Jori has backing tracks. You have backing tracks, and I was like, why am I'm castrating myself. I'm hamstringing myself. I'm crippling myself. I'm limiting myself by putting these paradigms on myself and some people do care about that shit, but it's mostly the noise scene. And I'm I don't really relate to the noise scene anyway. Like, sure, I have like a little bit of my heart in there, but that's, but then I think about clipping, you know, and I love clipping to death.
Dude,
and
these guys are amazing.
Those guys come from the noise scene. And last time I talked to Bill, he's like, oh yeah, we have to use backing tracks. Like, we can't do this shit live.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we do play stuff live, but we have backing tracks for everything. And I was like, Jason, get over yourself.
Yes.
If you want to perform the songs that you're making records of, you're going to have to use backing tracks. I'm tired of like making a record that sounds like this and then having a live performance that's just improv
it's
noise.
Very different, stripped down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now that's what I'm doing, and that's.
I think I limit myself a lot in my life because of the little rules I make as well, and none of it makes sense to anybody, and it's nobody cares.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's hard to keep that perspective sometimes when you feel like you're needing to stay true or whatever the word is, you know.
And even if people do care, like, you know, whatever.
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
If you lose one fan because like, oh, you have backing tracks now, that guy's a fucking asshole anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's been big for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was a big year for me too, playing live for the first time in a long ass time. So that's been a good challenge for sure. And
3 records of Traveler's Rest.
Yeah, was pretty productive as far as that goes. But playing live was definitely out of my comfort zone and not something I actually enjoy. I enjoy it a little bit. I enjoy the feeling of being done, but the process of build up to it is highly anxiety driven, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this to myself? Every time I say that, a fucking 30-minute set takes me 2 weeks to prepare, and like I want to get it right, and I'm so anxious that I'm gonna fuck something up.
Yep.
So it's the relief I feel afterwards it's fucking bliss.
Yep.
I love it. I love it so much. But that makes me think, okay, what's the point if all you're doing it for is that reaction at the end or the feeling of being done at the end, then maybe all that 2 weeks of anxiety is not really worth it. So I'm still debating what's going on with that. But
is it relief or accomplishment?
Yeah. That could be relief. Could be like kind of a negative word in my mind. Almost not negative, but you know, it's not reality. It could be an accomplishment as well.
Yeah.
I enjoy. I don't mind being in front of people. It's not that so much, and I actually enjoy like just kind of being a weirdo in public. I like that, but I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten it is. I've gotten to the point where I really enjoy it. And for a long time, you know, with Agalock and stuff, I went through like stage fright and I went through like all these things, but now I've just done it so long for so many times for so many years.
Though, being in a band versus being by yourself, the vulnerability is a lot more out there. It's obvious.
For sure.
When you're in a band, you could hide back, although you don't hide back in Agalock or anything, but you could possibly, you know, like turn yourself down if you're not feeling right that night or something, but you can't fucking do that.
No. And for sure it's different, but I also feel like it's set me up for doing this. Like I've played live so much and I've been in front of crowds so much, and
that helps.
That I feel very comfortable on stage for the most part. So, and now I love it. It's a part of me that I don't want to give up. I want to foster that, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to continue to play and hopefully we have another gig together. We have some ideas, but, I will always express that it makes me anxious, I think, until I get used to it one day, which I don't know if will happen, but.
Well, if you do it enough, it will happen.
And I want to like create different sets and stuff too. And I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to make it perfect and all these things.
Yeah. And that's a lot for sure.
But how boring would it be? I mean, it seems like I'm playing to the same people. How boring would it be to just like play the same shit all over?
All the time. Yeah.
They might not even notice. Maybe that's just in my head, you know?
Yeah. I think it's more about like, it might be boring for you.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but your winter set was great, and that was all new.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was cool. I'll probably never play that again. We're gonna play in February for our friend's birthday at Azoth, and I will do a whole different set for that. Maybe that'll be my set for 2025. Yeah, maybe I'll do something like that just to keep it simple for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna do not an all new set, but I'm gonna do something special for Tyson.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, we're late in the show here, but talking about Masvidal Moonbladder tour is so fucking exciting. I can't believe it. I know you're excited, but I'm also excited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think this is the point in the show where we talk about what's coming up next.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So I guess most immediately for me is I leave on the 20th to do the Paul Masvidal Moonbladder tour. And
Amazing.
I think I've hinted at this on the podcast a few times. I don't think it was announced last time we did it, so I don't think I've talked about it yet.
No,
but,
I don't think so.
Yeah, Paul and I have been planning this for quite a while. It was supposed to happen like in the spring. No, in the summer. It was supposed to happen in the fall. We're both busy. Cynic's been touring a lot. But the 20th, I head down to San Francisco. I'm going to be down there with Paul for a couple days. We're going to be working on some material. We're playing the Upstairs at the DNA Lounge on January 21st in San Francisco. And then we're playing Gallery 1412 on January 23rd in Seattle. And then we're playing Azoth here in Portland on January 24th. And yeah, it's
amazing.
It's pretty fucking amazing. I mean, I don't think people need an explanation who Paul Masvidal is, but he is the main man and founder of Cynic, and he was the guitarist on Death's Human. There you go. Cynic Focus.
I'm going to get that shit signed.
Yeah.
Will that be obnoxious for me to like just be, oh my God, Paul, please sign my tape?
No. He'll be fine with it.
Okay, good.
But
because Max was a little, Gloria was protecting Max.
Yes.
With me.
Yeah. No, Paul will be cool with it, I think. But yeah, we're going to do these 3 shows, which is just, it's surreal for me. I mean, Paul Masvidal, he's been an idol of mine since I was an early teenager.
A part of our musical lives for a long time. And you're now close friends with them, which is pretty incredible.
It's incredible. Cynic was huge for me when Focus came out. It changed my world.
Yep.
I saw them play with Cannibal Corpse on the infamous tour, and it's just, life is just so bizarre, man. And then here I am decades later and touring with them. But yeah, it's going to be a good tour. We are doing, I think how it's going to work is Moonbladder is going to open, and then Paul is going to do his solo set. And his solo set is like original compositions.
Yeah. His CD is great.
The mythical human vessel stuff. And then he usually does like a couple of Cynic songs and a couple of Aeon Spoke songs.
Oh, cool. Damn.
And then
did he play those acoustically, or he just kind of?
I don't think it's acoustic.
By himself, though.
Yeah, it's him, and he's got a bunch of pedals and like some kind of backing track that he plays with. But it's all like clean tone guitar stuff, I think, or affected guitar, and him singing. But he does like a nice back catalog of his solo work and Cynic and Aeon Spoke. And then I think we're going to close out the night with him and I doing like some kind of collab together. And I'm in the process of composing this backing track piece that we're going to perform together. So
you'll just leave all your stuff on the stage, and
I think so. Yeah.
Just jam with him afterwards. That's
I think so.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
Congrats on this, bro. This is pretty monumental in your personal life and professional life. So really cool.
It is. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. We're hoping that if these shows go well and we're happy with them, that we can go other places with it and do more of it. And it's definitely been one of the highlights of my year is becoming friends with Paul. Again, he's been, an idol of mine forever, but like, it's so interesting when you meet someone who is as kind and generous as Paul.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've talked about this before, but when Focus came out and I saw them, I got a t-shirt, and this was Focus came out 93?
Yeah.
So at that time, it was like I was wearing Deicide shirts, Cannibal Corpse shirts. All my shirts had corpses and guts and upside down crosses on them. Mm-hmm. And my Cynic shirt is just like this beautiful cover. Yeah. And on the back, it said truth, integrity, and strength.
Nice.
And I was like, who is this person that comes out in this scene and has something like that on their shirt? Yeah. And I was just like, to me, it was like the most revolutionary, badass thing you can possibly do, you know? And they were being booed off the stage every fucking night, and they would get up there and they would do their own thing, and impeccable musicians, every single one of them. And the songwriting is off the charts, just like
Yeah, it is.
you can't imagine. And then, you know, years later,
I can't imagine. I've heard it.
Yeah, me too. But then years later, you know, Paul comes out as gay.
Yeah.
Out of the death metal scene, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just like, this guy, he's the biggest badass of all of them.
Fuck yeah. So much courage and
Yeah. And now he's become such a good friend to me. And he's a really good friend. He's really, like I said, kind and generous. And his father passed away in May. And actually, we were at MDF when he left me that message that his father passed away.
Right. That's right.
And, you know, as I said, my father passed away on Christmas. And that day, he left me a bunch of messages. He was checking up on me. And then on New Year's Eve, like right before midnight, he sent me this long message about how he's thinking about me and how my father's passing must really contextualize this new year in a different way. And he's always there for me, and he's just a phone call away. And he is just like the best dude. And I feel so honored and blessed to have him in my life. And I feel so honored and blessed that I get to like embark on this journey with him of playing this crazy music that we both do. And his is very ambient and very melancholy, and mine's very evil and dark. But like together, it kind of like,
I think it's gonna be a good
like
mix.
this yin and yang almost.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited for it. Yeah, that's what I have coming up immediately.
Cool. Well, as a fan, I'm excited as well. So
yeah, it's gonna be great. And what do you have coming up?
Nothing in January. In February, I'm going to play 2 shows. 21st, somewhere locally, I forget where, and then 22nd is our friend's birthday. So
yep.
Nothing else. There's talks of a fest being organized, so probably that'll be in the summer, but nothing else on the books at the moment. Just going to keep plugging away on Traveler's Rest. Dolvin is actively being completed.
It's being mixed right now.
Yep.
By a certain somebody.
Oh no, we could talk about it, I guess, but another living legend. I mean, as important as Paul is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In my life.
For sure.
Dan Swano, he's been so integral and fucking Edge of Sanity, and it's just so good. And all his prog shit he did. Yeah, he's out there musician, wonderful, talented dude, and now he's been mixing and mastering for all these years. And we got him to do the Dolvin, so that's going to be amazing. And I'm super excited about it to come out. I got some kick-ass artwork for that shit, and it's going to be really cool.
Yeah,
so,
next level.
Yeah, musically, I think this is going to continue to be another good year. So I'm not worried about that. On a personal level, I think it's also going to be a good year. So
good.
I don't have any huge plans to announce, but yeah, things look pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to, announce. Should have talked about already in May. What's the name of the festival that we're playing? Northwest Terror Fest. Playing with Emperor.
Fortress
Fest. Northwest
I'm
Terror
going
Fest.
to England for that, with you.
Yep.
Probably meet you there.
Probably meet you there, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what hotel you're staying, by the way. I'd like to figure that out at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
If you get that information.
2 Emperor shows.
Yeah, dude.
LA, San Francisco, that'll be great.
Oh my God.
And then next September is we're headlining Candelabrum Fest in Mexico.
Yes. So good year for Agalok as well.
Yeah, we're playing with.
I love what you guys are doing here with this kind of just select shows and making it really special still for people. So
yeah, it's gonna be great. I think in Mexico we're playing with Tigers of Pang Tang.
Oh shit! It's a weird mix.
And Repulsion.
Oh wow.
And Absu.
Wow.
And Annihilator.
Wow.
Yeah.
All over the place.
And somebody else of note. Now I can't think of who it is. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be great. And then I'm just going to be really leading heavily into Moonbladder. I've got an album that's almost done. I just got to finish that up. As soon as I finish up, I've got just a few little fixes on the sculptured record for the bass
Will that
parts.
be a 2025 release, you think? Or
I don't know.
we'll be done this
Hard
year,
to
right?
say. It should be done this year. It should be done
Does take a
recording.
while.
But yeah, I've just got a few things to fix on that, and then I can dive into finishing the Moonbladder record.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yep.
It's hard, you know, like your dad dying and other people struggling in life. In my life at the moment feels relatively peaceful and calm, and
It's good.
I try not to express, you know, too much happiness, just because I know a lot of people are struggling, but I do feel pretty good at the moment. So hopefully that stays. But you know, I've lived long enough to know that fucking needle drops any moment. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. You never know.
So talk to me next week. We'll see. See
Yeah.
how I feel,
Seriously.
but-
Yeah. Yeah.
But I appreciate your friendship and I appreciate this podcast. Hopefully we can continue to be relatively regular with it.
Yeah. I think we're on a really good track there for a while. We were doing it where it was nice and regular, and I'd like to get back to that when life allows.
Okay.
You know, even aside from my dad dying, just holidays or that
Oh,
time
yeah,
is
for
always
sure.
hard. And
Yes.
but yeah, in general, I'd like to get back to what we're doing. But we got to figure out what we want to do for episode 100, man. That's coming up soon.
Well, maybe we'll talk about that off air,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we've thrown some ideas out before, but
Yeah. And we have one very special idea that I would still like to make happen.
hell yeah.
I think that'd be really cool.
Okay.
But yeah, actually, and I have a few ideas too that we should just schedule. So, of people that have agreed to be on that have not been on yet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we've got a handful of those.
I enjoy those interviews, and I also enjoy our solo times, but the interviews are always
Oh man, the Alan one was so fun.
fucking awesome.
So great. Like that guy's so great. Yeah.
T-shirt of the day, dude. I got my Lawnmower
yeah.
Death shirt on.
Oh crikey. Oh crikey.
Got
Where'd
my
you?
old crikey shirt.
Yeah.
Where'd I get this?
Yeah. Where'd you get it?
Where did I get this? You ask.
Yeah. Where did you get
I have
that?
A friend got it for
A
me.
friend? Oh my God. You must have
Yeah,
spent so much
really
money on that.
Yeah, you told me right away you got it for $8.
$8,
That's all
yeah.
I'm worth to you. With
Yeah.
shipping, so
Shipping,
maybe
so
12.
12. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. I got one for myself, and
Thank you for this
I
shirt.
haven't worn it yet. Does it fit okay?
Yeah, fits great.
Nice.
Double XL is what this is, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what I got. Yeah.
Yeah. That they usually are wider than I am, but at least they're long enough.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm a long dude, so it's difficult.
You're a long dude.
It's difficult to put clothes on me.
I didn't want you to get chilly or anything, you know?
Aw.
Yeah. All right,
Thank you.
man. Well, this is great.
All right.
Thanks
Yeah,
so
that was
much. Let's get another one on the books. Let's get another one on the books.
That's
soon.
your Canadian accent.
Yeah. What's that, a book? But 2024, aside from my fucking shit holiday, I think overall was really great. A lot of new experiences, a lot of new
You were creative
things.
as fuck, as always.
Creative
dude.
as
Jesus
fuck.
Christ.
I think
CAF, as the kids say.
that's right. I think for both of us, it was a really good year overall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. Nothing bad really happened, so that's good.
Yeah. I mean, again, aside from my dad,
Well, yeah.
I can't think of anything horrible. Well, actually, I can. Ellery's whole thing, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
That was.
It's been a bit. I guess it's been kind of a hard year, but not necessarily bad aside from my dad thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all those things are recoverable from, like the Ellery stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah. Well,
All
cool,
right.
man. Thanks so much.
Thanks for everybody for listening.
Yeah, this was a long one, but we had to catch up on a lot of shit. So
We did. If
Yeah.
you made it this long, then
you're a true fan. You're a Sebastian or a Kyle.
should we put like a secret word at the end just to see who actually are true fans?
Oh, I like this idea. I like this idea.
Yeah.
We'll say it, and then okay. So anybody who remembers the secret word, email us at
Yes.
hate.pod.
Yes.
Wait,
if you
what's our
made
email
it this
address?
far and you can email us this word, whatever we come up with just now,
Yeah,
then you're a fucking true fan.
yeah.
And
Email.
that's a badge of honor.
It is a badge of honor. Yeah. Email us at hate.pod.music@gmail.com with the secret word.
Okay, what is the secret word? Let's look at let's pick a number 1 through 9.
6.
Okay, this is the 6th song on Focus.
Okay.
Euroborg Forums.
Dude, that's perfect. Okay.
Perfect.
So anybody that
So-
stuck around to the end, email us with
Your
that
work forms,
with that secret word,
and you
words.
will know you're a fucking
Yep.
real fan.
Yeah, and
Because
you'll,
the attention span of somebody these days is like 10 seconds. So
yeah, but
we're 2 hours deep in this shit.
I listen to podcasts in segments though, so hopefully other people
Yeah,
do
that's
too.
true. 10 second segments.
Yeah. Oh, and this, I didn't mention this, but this is our first, we've signed a contract with Spotify. So now we are a Spotify podcast as of this episode.
Wow.
That's-
What does it mean,
I mean,
Jason? What does that mean?
It just means I switched hosts. That's all.
Okay. You signed a contract.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
I
not,
like it. It sounds bigger than it
yeah.
really is.
Now we're with Joe Rogan and all that. No, we'll still be available all the same places. Nobody will ever notice a difference. It's about me managing the podcast will be different for me and hopefully a little bit easier. So
Good. Rather than the other one, Podbean or something?
Yeah,
Or-
and
Nice.
Podbean was great, but I've been with them since the beginning, and it was starting to feel a little clunky. And I thought
It's
why not
time that you
make a
separated. Did
change?
you ghost them, or were you outright and you?
Well,
Like when the breakup? How did the breakup happen?
well, it was me, not them. I needed some space. I wanted to see other hosting platforms,
There you
and
go. There you go. Thank you.
and Spotify platform is free,
Nice.
and Podbean was $100 a month or whatever.
Yeah. So
No,
that-
not a month,
She was
a
an
year.
expensive date.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, $100 a year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad, but and I just wanted to try like a different interface, and I feel like again, Podbean did great, but I feel like even though I have a complicated relationship with Spotify, I feel like they could help get listenership up. So
Nice.
And since we've been doing the video podcasts, our Spotify and our YouTube is blowing up, and everything else is just
Sweet.
about the same. So
Wow. Interesting.
people love the videos. They love
Yeah.
your face, I think.
I guess so.
Nobody
They
can
love
see
my tape
mine
collection.
'cause I need to get a light like you
need
do.
a light. This is just like a cheesy light I have mounted here, but okay. Oh, that's cool, dude. Red.
Yeah, Nosferatu.
I like that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, cool. Let's do this again soon. Well, I'm going to be on tour for a week soon too, but we'll figure it out.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. Euroborg Farms. Don't forget.
Yep. Yeah. Email us. Again, thanks again, Nick Wusz, and I will see you later.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
An Earth in Sound production.